There were a couple of tornadoes in Western New York area yesterday, at least two, and it was kind of scary. We had there was tornado watches. I didn't film the pool when I did my tour of the RV park, so I thought I'd film it now. If you look at the sky, it's pretty cloudy, and I think that's still after effects of Beryl. Is it Beryl? Beryl? Tropical storm. Hurricane turned tropical storm or turned tropical depression. I'm not sure what it was by the time it got to the Buffalo area, but there were a couple of tornadoes in Western New York area yesterday, at least two, and it was kind of scary. We had there was tornado watches, and so we'll have to tell you about that in a little bit. You can see there it says tornado tally rises to 4 as Beryl remnants hit Western New York. Beryl remnants trigger regional tornado outbreak in New York. Tornadoes touched down in Erie, Chautauqua counties Wednesday in New York, which was yesterday. Hello, everybody.
Hey, everyone.
So we decided, oh, there's Henry, and Allie's next to us.
Just in time.
Seymour's out there. We'll have to show him. There he is. Hello, Seymour. How are you, Seymour? How are you, baby? Baby Seymour. We decided to make a video about yesterday because Beryl came to Buffalo. It's called Beryl. Beryl.
You're right. I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're pronouncing it right.
I think Beryl. We wanted to talk about that. Basically, when there's a thunderstorm, we don't leave the cats in the RV because you never know if that could potentially bring a tornado. So we don't leave the cats in the RV. And yesterday they had been calling for thunderstorms. But then when we got up, we had to go out and get some groceries, and it was all clear. It wasn't showing any thunderstorms. So we went out, and then we came back at about 12 or around noon or 12:30, I don't know, somewhere around there. And then all of a sudden, after we ate our lunch, or we were eating, I looked on my phone and I saw that there had been there was a tornado, something about a tornado watch or something like that. So there was actually a tornado watch until 9 p.m. And then I found out that there actually were tornadoes. There were actually 4 tornadoes. You can look it up on the search. 4 tornadoes in Western New York, and one of them was probably about 30 miles from us, I think. And I always pray against thunderstorms when I hear about them, so that they don't even turn into tornadoes.
Yeah. One thing about yesterday when we were out, it was weird. The weather kind of was weird. I remember when we were shopping, we were getting out of the truck, and all of a sudden it was raining for 1 minute, and then the next it got sunny out. I remember, and you asked me, you were wondering if there was a rainbow because it was sunny out after it rained. But it kind of was like that yesterday. It would rain, then it would get sunny, and then, oh my gosh, it got really dark at one point, like really dark. And so I've seen potentially what a tornado can do here. 1 year, 3 years ago, something came through. We still don't know. Was it a tornado? But something similar, and I saw what kind of destruction it did. And I think Sharon's going to put some pictures on this video, and it's just amazing the kind of destruction that tornadoes could do.
Yeah, if that was a tornado, it must have been mild, but still, we had a warning here. It was 2 or 3 years ago. It was mid-July, and Sal was at work, and I was home alone with the cats, and it was pouring rain.
Yeah,
and it gave a tornado. It said it gave a tornado warning, and it was like only for about 15 or 20 minutes. And there was no way I could get all 3 cats into the truck and get them anywhere. So I just got onto my Facebook, and I asked people to pray, and I just waited it out, and that was pretty scary.
I remember that. I was cleaning, and I was in one of the bathrooms, one of the shower houses here, and all of a sudden, all these people came running in there, and I said, "What's going on?" They said, "Oh, there's a tornado warning," and I said, "Wow!" And all these people came running in there because of the tornado warning, and yeah, it's something you don't want to mess with. Like I said, I've seen the destruction and that damage that happened like 3 years ago here. That was mild. I'll tell you, for something being mild, it took trees out of the ground and knocked them over. That's pretty scary if that was mild.
I showed some videos of it. I mean, I showed some pictures of it in the video of the tour of the campground at the very end, but I'll put them here too so that you can see them, and I'll put some, I have other ones too. I can put different ones in from what was in the other video. But that was really scary too. Sal had gone shopping that day, and I was here, and they had been calling for thunderstorms, and they kept pushing it off to make it later and later. And then he got back. I think they were like scheduled for 3, and then they kept pushing it, and then he got back at 5. And I had the window open. I was on the bed, I think, with Henry.
Yeah.
And he came in, and he opened the door, and then all of a sudden we heard this. You heard it.
It sounded like a freight train going through the woods. That's the best way I can describe it. It sounded like a freight train going through the woods, and it came through, and one of the branches next to us over here broke off. But overall, it didn't really do any damage. Thank God. God was protecting us that day.
And then it must have went through to the old section we were in.
Yeah.
From here, like we're kind of straight up from it. Okay, so it must have gone straight down to that section, and that's where all the damage was. And it actually, the people that were 2 sites away from where we were on site 4 before, and people on site 2 in that section that we were in when we first got here the first year, their RV they lost their RV. It was totaled, and that'll be on the thing now. You know, they have a new RV now. I think they're still there.
Yeah, they are, but they got a new. Thankfully, they got a new RV through their insurance covered the damage and everything. So
yeah, so we had heard that storm, and it was funny because we didn't even know about the damage for 2 days. And then when Sarah went to work, and then he heard about it, I said, "Oh, let's go look at it." And that's when we looked, and we took all the pictures, and people's they're not carports. I don't know what they are. Those got damaged, and
one actually got. Go ahead, hon.
Go ahead.
One actually got taken off the ground and got blown farther away.
Yeah, by the bathroom.
It's
we don't know what that was. I suspect it was some kind of tornado or something that had come through.
Yeah.
So, tornadoes are kind of unusual around here. Oh, and then also I have a local friend that follows the weather a lot, and she was posting stuff all day long, pictures of things that were damaged and things like that. And then I read that no people were injured, but I think livestock was injured, and that was sad. So I said a prayer for them. I hope they're all okay. So it was a scary experience. We don't really deal with that a lot around here.
Right.
But it was
Beryl. Luckily, we don't. Right.
Beryl came through. Beryl started out as a hurricane in Texas and came all the way up through Buffalo. And
I actually read something today where in Houston, I forget how many thousands of people still have no power. And it's really, I can only imagine how uncomfortable that must be right now because it's really hot down there.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, it did a lot of damage.
Yeah, it must have been quite a storm if it got all the way up here and was still causing trouble.
Right.
So, all right, well, we just wanted to let you know about that. And I guess stay tuned for the pictures from that storm that we told you about. And we'll see you in the next video. And if you like the video, click like and comment and subscribe and tell your friends.
Give us a thumbs up.